Finally, forget Comey. Focus on the economy. If you really want to know how far this Trump investigation goes, keep an eye on how this recovery goes. I'm not kidding. It keeps humming, barring any new revelations. It really doesn't matter what James Comey or anyone else is saying. That's because scandals take a life of their own, usually when the economy is showing no life at all. That's not to minimize at all the Watergate scandal that bedeviled Richard Nixon. Let's just say an oil embargo by OPEC and soaring gas prices and runaway inflation, well, that bedeviled Americans more. That is also not to say that hearings don't matter. Time and again, the environment in which they're going on matters more. That is also why, as big a deal as Bill Clinton lying under oath might have been for Republicans trying to impeach him, it wasn't nearly as big a deal as a booming economy and stock market for voters and investors who ultimately stood by him. Now, would they have stood by him had their stocks not been soaring or the economy not been roaring? Just my opinion, but not likely. Think about it. You don't turn out or even think of forcing out a president or a leader when times are good, but history proves you certainly consider it when times are bad. For now, times are good, mostly good. For now, investors are giddy, mostly giddy. For now, housing is bouncing back and credit scores are roaring back. For now, the bread and butter issues that define life for average Americans are looking pretty good. For most Americans. That doesn't mean they still don't hold their president to the letter of the law. Let's just say when dollar and cents things are going their way, they can be a little bit more lenient interpreting that letter and that law. Not all the time, but if history is any guide, here and everywhere, most of the time, leaders lose their jobs when the economies they oversee lose their momentum. They lose their jobs even more quickly when the economies they oversee really lose their momentum, i.e. tank. That's why I think President Trump should pay less attention to the latest Russian revelation and more to the latest economic revelation. That is not to say Vlad doesn't matter, just that the Dow matters more. It doomed Richard Nixon. It saved Bill Clinton. And save a sudden and dramatic reversal, it just could rescue Donald Trump. We'll see. Good night.